Okay, I don't think I recorded it, so I'll do it again.
Oh, shit, you're good.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Jackson Black. Welcome to another episode of the Jackson Black Show with my guest tonight, pro wrestling's bombshell, Beaux Bombshell. How are you doing tonight?
What's up? I am doing so fabulous. I love that intro. Thank you for not, butchering the name, because it happens. I was like, wait, he hasn't said it yet. Hell yeah, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great out here. Really grinding on the show. I checked your stuff out, and I was like, oh, that's great. That's great stuff.
Thank you. Hell yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, thank you for having me on here. I love just doing podcasts with anyone, honestly. It's like more character work, and get you kind of experienced in that realm of the whole wrestling thing. But I hope that doesn't, my heat just cut on, because it is kind of cold in here, so I hope that doesn't mess up the sound, but I'll just get a little closer. But hell yeah, where are you, by the way?
I am in Knoxville, Tennessee. That is where I'm coming out of right now. Yeah. I was a JPWA graduate from Dr. Tom Pritchard. So
nice. Hell yeah. I did a seminar with Tom Pritchard in the WrestleCade of 2021. And it was just him. I don't think anybody else was there, but it was like 30 people. It was really fun. He's a great guy. The funny thing, though, he was, we had to do promos, and I was so anxious. I just wanted to be the first one just to get it over with. And I get up there, and he was like applauding me for going first. It's like, oh, you got the balls. And I was like, yeah. And I had a shirt that said Babyface on it. And he was like, takes a lot of, I can't remember what he said, but he was like saying something like about that. But not like making fun of me, but just And I cut the promo, and I was like, oh yeah, I killed that. And he was like, you know what? That was really great, but you made the one mistake. And I was like, what? And I didn't say my freaking name. I was like, oh my God. I was like, damn. But no, he's a great guy. So that seems great to train with him. So
it was a lot.
And Kane too, right? Or is he just
to a lesser extent? But
okay,
yeah, he was there. Yeah. He was there sometimes. I don't want to destroy the mystique for anybody.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know, right? I do that. Yeah. Whoops.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
I get in trouble for that. Not Kane. I meant somebody. I meant, the mayor of Knoxville, right?
Yeah, two different.
Glenn. I get them confused for some reason. Anyways.
Same body style. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what made you fall in love with professional wrestling?
What made me fall in love with professional wrestling? I think it all has to do with my grandmother. She watched wrestling religiously, still does to this day, bless her. And she would have it on, 3 nights a week we watched. And this is so we're talking about when I was 3 or 4. So this is mid 90s, late 90s. So it was the Attitude Era, or it was Nitro. And I think, watching that and being so young, blending it in with the Power Rangers and just that, I just saw these larger than life characters. And I really was drawn to the women characters, and the females in that era were not PG, and it was very attitude, of course. And I loved it. Being young and just seeing Sable come out there, and Jacqueline and Luna. And I used to think Luna was like a universe crossover from the Power Rangers. Whoa, this is awesome. So I guess just having to love it. My grandma watched it all the time, and then I was like, okay, I like China. I like watching these women do this. This is kind of cool. And from there, I just never stopped watching.
I feel that. That was a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
You got some Rita Repulsa stuff going on in there. I did.
Yeah, I know. I was like, whoa, when is Luna going to pop up on the Power Rangers? And then I used to think the Nitro girls were the Spice Girls. You know what I mean? When you're young, you kind of see stuff on TV. You're when you're real young, you're impressionable. You kind of mix your memories together. And I was like, yeah, the Spice Girls are on WCW. I remember I told somebody that forever ago. Remember when the Spice Girls were on WCW? They were like, what? I was like, wait. And they were like, no. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I was a little kid.
I do remember that. I remember hearing about Power Rangers, and I thought it had something to do with the Rescue Rangers for some reason.
Yeah, I can see that too.
That correlation. So let's who trained you up in the business? Who were your trainers? And
so I've been training for just over a year, and I've been training in Roanoke, Virginia at Star City Pro. And I've been trained by Gregory Versetti and Donald J. Bitdon, who used to be Donnie Dollars. And I've also had some formal training in like the social media aspects and different things like that from a wrestler, Brad Jones. He was like, they're all like, so I say these guys and I love them to death, but like they were all like legit backyard wrestlers who then became indie wrestlers who now, and they've had their moments in their career and stuff. And it's just kind of crazy seeing where they came from. And yeah, I just watched all their like old stuff before they were even able to wrestle, like them doing backyard stuff for like the whole high school. Like it's crazy. But so that's mainly who I've been trained by: Gregory Versetti, Donald J. Bitdon, and Brad Jones.
Awesome. So let's
They're
go.
all
Like
pretty
this.
local out here.
Yeah. So what was your first bump like? Some people have like the select few have a great one. Mine was trash. I think I almost died. Like,
it's not that my bump was bad, and maybe I'm just saying that because that's what I feel like. But then again, I don't think so. It wasn't that it was like bad or anything, but it sticks with you. I remember just that shock of like being like maybe the first couple times I didn't do it right, but when you stick it, man, it's like boom, and you're like, oh my God. And then the next day you're like, why am I doing this? I was like, I don't know if I want to do this actually. No, but then after that, it gets kind of addicting, if I'm not going to lie. Like, it's like this weird, I was just talking to my friend the other night, like this weird, like outlet of pain. It's kind of all dark and deep. Maybe I shouldn't go there. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I just think it hurt. I'm not going to lie. It fucking hurt. Or I don't know if I'm supposed to cuss. Sorry. I got to come to potty mouth.
Be free.
But, hell yeah. So it hurt, but it wasn't bad. I was pretty good. I mean, they did the thing where, like you hold on to the bottom rope, you get into the seating position and you kind of like do a little baby bump. Yeah. Just so you fall back. But yeah. Why was you so bad?
I cracked my head.
Oh, you were like that clunk. I've seen many guys do that. I have seen so many people do that. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that. I was like, no. I think it was the fear of me like doing that I was like, tuck the head. So that sucks.
So let's go like right before the curtain of your first match and how you felt after you came back to the back.
Oof. My first match was in West Virginia, which, you know me, and it's just like, so I remember thinking like, really, I'm going to have my debut match in West Virginia. And I had been so adamant about me wanting to be like the good guy and, all that stuff, despite everyone, because it's in the South, everyone's going to be like, no, you need to be heel. You're queer. The way you look, it's just natural heat. But I was like, come on, just let me do it. This for my debut. Like, just please. And I really am so fortunate because my coach Donnie got me the match on the card. I was on the poster. I get my own little card, and I was fighting another classmate of mine, if you will, or another person who was training at my school who I'd really built up a good chemistry with. To be honest with you, and here's the tea, is like we didn't really get along all the time. We weren't best friends, but we did have good chemistry in the ring. So there is that little bit of edge to it. But I was so nervous. And I remember going out there and walking out, and I had practiced like this Britney routine. Like it's like a baby one more time, 7 count, 8 count, where it's like a little do hair flip. It's from, in the beginning of the video, she does it. And I was like, I want to do that when I come out. And I think I've only done that one time, maybe a couple other times. But I was like, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, whatever. And they let me be the good guy. And I come out, I do it. And I'll never forget. Like I hit that little moment. I go to flip my hair and I look up and it's like quiet. Not that like, it's like bad quiet, but it's like what the fuck? And then you hear, what the hell is that? And I was like, all right, bitch, sell it. And I just like was like, woo! And then all the girls started cheering for me, and then the dude started just like, heckling the hell out of me. And then we went with it, and we had an awesome match. So I really am lucky for my debut. But it's just funny because I was in West Virginia, and I made them make me the good guy. But it was awesome.
That's great. Okay, so
I ate it up.
Oh. As long as it's not crickets, like you're golden. Like
Exactly. I mean, it was like that initial like, but that wasn't crickets. That was like shock. It was like
you shock and autumn. They're
yeah,
like,
literally. I was like, oh, okay.
what the hell is this?
Yeah, I mean, and the loud. It was like out of a movie where it just like radio silence, and I'm like breathing. I can hear myself breathing because I'm so nervous, and I'm like, oh shit. And then just that out like that country redneck, just male voice, and then people start clapping, and some people were like really booing. It was so weird. And then he had to like, I don't know, it made the match different, but I was like, we're not changing it. I'm going out as a good guy. Like I'm not gonna change it. So, but
you went full Stone Cold Steve Austin there. You went
I
full
did.
tweener. Like they're like, I hate you, but we like you.
Yeah, I mean seriously.
I've had that. Cool. I've had energy before, like from crowds that makes no sense. You go out there, you insult them, and you do whatever you can to get that, and they're like, "Woo!"
Yeah,
like, you guys are just destroying my whole thing tonight. Thanks, I appreciate it.
It is so it's like makes everything a little off.
Well, let's see how they react. So I've had a couple of funny. I don't know if you had any yet. Have you had any ref botches yet?
Ref botches, I definitely have had some. Yeah, I've had some where, like, you know, I can't really think of something right now, but I definitely have one. Like, I'm thinking of a referee, and I'm like, what did he do? I can't remember, but definitely have had some.
I had a guy, I was, like, posted, and it's, like, a 6 count. I'm like, I can't get up right now. I can't get up. Dude, get in the ring. Nobody gets in the ring. And he counts it out, and I'm like, that was never the finish, my guy. That was.
Yeah, that's like my worst nightmare. I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't know.
It was awful. It was awful.
Oh God! And so it was like just ended right there, and you had to just kind of go, okay.
Nope. Bad guy prevails. So bad guy goes up to where the mic is, and I grab the ref. I take him with me, and I was like, "Tell him you're starting the match over now." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Tell him right now, or I'm gonna punch you in the face."
Nice. Okay, so there's always that. That's the beauty about wrestling is like you got to roll with literally the punches, the botches, all that, and just kind of. So that's good. I would have been that smart. I get so in the moment. I would have been like, well, it's done. Like, you know what I mean? I would have just been like, this is bullshit. Like, ran out. Like, I would have been like, how do we change this? So it's always good to have somebody like that in the ring with you.
Yeah. So who's been your toughest opponent so far in your career so far?
My toughest opponent in my career so far. Oh God, that's a really good question. I didn't think you'd ask something like that.
Oh, this is basic. I got an ending. My ending one it always gets people. So just wait, that's coming.
I know, but I've just never been asked something like that before. Where I'm like, I got to think about this. So, you know, I'm gonna say two people for two different reasons. I'm gonna say Enrique Rivera, who I don't even want to say, but I'm going to say that's someone who I've had a long-standing feud with, and he's the one I was referring to earlier in my debut, where we're not the best of friends, we're not enemies. It's very, it is what it is. It's tough with him because it's so great sometimes, but then it's like real, and it's like we're really out there, you know, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to like. I never know what to say sometimes when it comes to like kayfabe and stuff. But I'm like, we're in 2022, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. And then I would actually say another opponent like tough to fight in the ring, and I'm gonna shout them out. They probably won't even think this. We've only crossed paths a few times, but when we have, I'm legit like, God dang, here I go with this mother effer. Koga, he's a wrestler who's in the Mid-Atlantic scene. He's School of Morton. He is pretty aggressive, and he likes to kick. And I mean, when he kicks you, you better be ready because he is kicking the shit out of you. And I mean, so when you said toughest, like literally the toughest, I'd have to say him. He just has that like kind of martial arts, like Mortal Kombat vibe, and he's like, it's like death, or what is it, fatality, like. Yeah, so he's like probably the toughest one I've had to wrestle, really.
If those people, like, when you come across them, they tend to bring out like the better in you. I love those people that push me, like, to outside the comfort zone, outside
Absolutely.
like the cardio zone. Blow it up. We're here to I heard it. You got to put everything into everything you do, or like,
Absolutely.
what are you doing it for? What are you doing it for? Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. What are we going to go out there and just do like some basic stuff to keep it? Not, I mean, always keep it safe. Don't get me wrong. Always keep it safe. But it's a fight. Let's fight. A lot of people don't think that about me. When I get backstage with people, they're like, all right, what do you want to do? You want a hair pull? And I'm like, no, like, let's go out there, like, whip my ass, I'll whip your ass. You hit me hard, I'll hit you hard back. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see how it goes. And they're like, okay. So that's a big misconception about me sometimes when I get in the locker rooms. These guys are like, okay, so how, like, you know, maybe water it down. Not always, but I'm just like, no, like, beat my ass out there. What do you think I signed up for?
right? I started wearing, because like I hate chops. They're like my least favorite thing in the world.
Oh God,
I hate them. So I started wearing leather gloves. So if you chop me, probably mine's gonna hurt more because
my God, yeah,
leather gloves. Just saying. They see
wow,
you put it
I never
on.
thought about that.
And it adds another level to it, because then if you get really mad, you can like take the gloves off and be like, oh, the gloves are off now,
and just smack them with the glove. Oh yeah, or that too. That classic saying. That's why I didn't think about that. I was thinking like just smacking them with the glove, or smacking, like doing a chop with the glove off. That's like that's like a plastic belt, you know. That's...
You know, you just gave me. I'm gonna put that in the bank and use it.
Sorry for your future opponents.
Sorry, buds. Okay, so who would be your I always do top 4, do the Mount Rushmore, but then like I like to trick people and throw a 5th one in there, and that's where everybody gets stumped. So what's your top 5 all time?
All time? Well, I mean, don't be angry at me because the guys do, but it's going to be all women. And actually, you know what? That 5th one, I'll make a man. So I would say
Jazz better be on that list, oh man, or we're gonna wrestle right now.
Well, you're going to have to bring it on then, because she's not. She's not, although I love her. I would have to say my top 4 wrestlers who happen to be women would be definitely Tori Wilson. And I know people can like gag or hate me for that, but this is what it is. Tori Wilson, Asuka, Mickie James, and Naomi. And then my 5th person who would be a guy would be Eddie Guerrero.
It's not a bad list. It's not a bad list.
No, not at all.
You went 4 for 5 on for me. That top one, Tori. I love Tori, but
she's like my mother, so you can't speak ill about her. Or
I was just watching some like old, I think it was like 2003 Raw, and Jazz was just beating the crap out of everybody.
I know, but thank God for Tori, she was on SmackDown, so she didn't have to deal with that.
Oh God.
Yeah, that would have been rough. I know a lot of people give me a lot of flack for, you know, probably putting her number 1, and I don't really give a fuck, but I will say, like, despite like her wrestling ability, out of the girls who really weren't wrestlers, I think she did a damn great job. Like, she used to go out there with people, and it was like, you know, people she worked with, Nydia, Victoria, Dawn Marie, who also made her look good as well. I know that, but like, I look back and I'm like, she really was like really pretty good for what she could do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she was out there putting on 5-star classics like Rey Mysterio or, you know, Crispin White or Guerrero, blah, 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 those people. But I think looking back, and then some of the girls later that were like in that Diva Search era, like who were just god awful. It didn't matter how pretty or charisma, what, you know what I mean? I was like, dang, like Tori, she really did prove out doing crossbodies off the top rope, like, you know, doing spinning DDTs. Like, no, you know, the girls aren't really doing that. So they had their moment, but I know Jazz and all those women on Raw, they were holding it down, and I love them just as much. But it's just like a nostalgic, like, childhood. She's like a childhood hero of mine, honestly. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Nope. So Tori was like, she was athletically gifted for sure. Like,
yes,
for
exactly.
Sure.
She did her best, and I think that's what I loved about her the most. Like, I was like, she's not really a wrestler, but she's out there like beating these girls up and doing these moves. And I wish she would have like at least got to hold the championship one time, but you know, Hall of Fame. So in your faces, all you.
Right. I love it. I love that was it was like it wasn't like a great time for women's wrestling either. Mm-mm. But like it's come so far, and like I like how it's just not so degraded anymore. It was like dumb
Absolutely.
There was some
absolutely.
dumb shit going on back then. Like,
Yes.
stupid pole matches, poles on poles, or whatever the fuck it was, dumb shit. Mud matches and like all these dumb
Yeah.
things. Just fucking like, hey, you get 2 minutes, pusher and pudding.
I know. To be honest with you, I'll never forget. Like a lot of the diva stands, or the girls and the gays and everybody else who loved the women back then. A lot of them do stick to that. Like, let's bring back the degrading stuff, and that's not what I loved about it. I love that these women like persevere through it. Like, despite giving little time, whatever the pudding, pillow fights, they still tried to like incorporate wrestling in it, and you could tell the ones who really did care and tried, or the ones who were trained by Fit Finley, and the ones who were just like, I'm wanting to be on the cover of Playboy. You know what I mean? You could just kind of, and I honestly feel like when I remember when Tori had her Playboy pillow fight at WrestleMania, I was upset, and in that time I was like, a Playboy pillow fight, like, God, man, like, why can't you be in a real match? Like, not thinking outside, like, okay, yeah, they're trying to promote Playboy, and it's like they already have the women's match, which is Trish and Mickey, so. But I remember being legit like, I don't want a pillow fight, man. I want a street fight or like something else.
I agree fully. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot.
It was a lot. May I ask you a question? How old are you?
37.
Okay, not to be like wow, but like I did not expect that. Like, not that 37 is old at all.
Everybody thinks I'm like 28. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna be like, I hope he doesn't sit over here and say like I'm 23 or 24, because I feel like that's what everybody I meet now like is that like young like that, or like in their early 20s. Okay, wow, that's really cool. Hope you're okay with sharing that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't give a shit. They won't. I'll just be like, oh, that was a lie anyway. Like, it's wrestling. Like,
right? Yeah. Well, he's just lying.
He's full of shit. No, but I'll boogeyman him. I don't care. I'll tell him I'm like way younger than I am, and they'll be like, okay. I can go, so I don't really care. It doesn't matter. There's
right?
like you got action Mike Jackson's out there. He's like 70 something. So
I know. I mean, look.
There is no age. There's no age.
There is no age. I think a lot of people get discouraged too. Like I felt like I was discouraged. I mean, to tell you my age, I'm 30. I just turned 31 this month, and I felt kind of discouraged starting at 29. Like, oh my God, I'm starting wrestling at 29. Like. And then a lot of people that were, friends and family are like, you're 29 and like, you really gonna like go out there and wrestle? And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, you know why it took me so long? I had to, be someone who I wasn't. And then finally took 10 years to like own myself and be comfortable in my skin. And now I want to do what I want to do. So I'm going to do what I want to do. And I'm sorry that it took 29 years, but that's society and, my, homophobic Southern family, all that's factored into that. So this is how we're here.
Right? There's that. At
least we're here.
I think it's like a TikTok thing or something like that. He goes, man, I wish we would have started this younger. And he goes, well, we started now. So,
period.
Dude, wrestling. I just had a girl. She's coming up. I think next week or the next week. Her name is like SOS. Is her name, dude? She's a beastly girl. We had a good talk the other day about the kind of like the same stuff. And she actually put Jazz at her top, so I gave her a high five. I was like, thank you. She's
your girl then. I see that.
I just love me some Jazz.
I love Jazz. One of my favorite lines is the bitch is back and the bitch is black. I was like, go ahead.
And you put it with Teddy Long, it just
I know, and he's like throwing the shoe and hitting Trish in the head. Like that. I love that. Don't get me wrong. But we just, you have your favorites.
Yeah, everybody had their favorites, but
I was so shocked when she came when they did the 6-pack challenge, and then they had the ECW, and she was the surprise entrance back in like 2001 Invasion, or right? Was that Invasion?
Yeah,
Survivor Series.
Yeah,
Survivor Series. I remember being like, oh, what? Because I mean, we just kind of lost like China, and I'm not comparing them, but their physiques in manner of wrestling were very like similar, so we needed that body type and that character to beat up all the blonde bimbos.
I agree. Yeah. So everybody always has. I have some strange road stories. I pop them up every once in a while. Do you have any good road stories?
Roads, oh man, I do. One thing. Okay, so in February of last year, so my debut was in March 2022. Technically, I was supposed to debut in Ohio at a show that was like the Man Expo. It was like everything men love, like gardening, hunting, beer, women. Like it was just like the man. And Buff Bagwell was the headliner, and we were all, me, my coach, and all the other students. We were going to drive to Ohio, which was, how far was that? Like a 6 or maybe 8 hour drive. I'm not sure. It was long as hell. And if you remember, in March, it was that horrible snowstorm that like hit the Northeast, and it was like, I mean, just 22 inches over here. Well, we drove into it. We drove into the snowstorm. I'm like, how did nobody check the weather app? Like, and I had to drive one of the guys' vehicles, which was like this big old souped up Jeep thing. And it's like, because he couldn't see because it was dark. And then I'm like, okay, I'll drive. And it's like, I'm driving this car. And then my coach, he's in the other car. They wreck. They're on the side of the road. We get to the hotel before they do. We find out they wrecked. It was like this whole thing where like we couldn't get into the hotel. So then what ended up happening is eventually they finally got there, and it was about 8 of us. We all were snowed in for the entire weekend together. No show. We couldn't make it because of the snow, and we literally were all snowed in together. And I tell you, it was one of the most eye-opening and learning experiences of the whole process of becoming a wrestler, because I hadn't really knew these guys really well. It was the very beginning. I mean, I've only been there since August of the year prior, so about 5-6 months, if that. And then we're all slammed in a hotel. Well, first we had 2 rooms, and then we had to switch to 1 because, like, you know, we were like, well, we won't be here much longer, and then, you know, get the other room. And it was just like, so there's like, that's like basically, but there's like stories within stories, if you know what I'm saying. You can only imagine, like, it was really kind of crazy.
I for sure get that.
And we didn't debut, and we were all like upset, and we were like, what the hell did we do? And some of us wanted to continue, and some of us didn't. I was one that was like, I don't know what to do. I didn't drive a vehicle here. I'm not going to drive your vehicle any longer. I don't want to wreck too. They wrecked. Maybe we should just go home. Yeah, it was a mess. And then we like all got really sloppy one night, like just wasted and drunk, and you know, you learn a lot about everybody. And I sure did.
Oh, I've been a part of some ones. But
how long have you been working?
So we just came up on a year. January. So a little over a year.
Wow.
So I've had like, I don't know, like 50, 60 matches or so, something like that.
Wow. Well, that's a lot. But hell yeah, good for you then. I'm over here thinking you've been like working for like at least 5 years, and then
I wish. Something. Damn, I wish.
Well, go ahead, man. Look at you. Like, I give props to you for starting and really pushing that. Like, it doesn't matter when you start as long as you start.
It doesn't. Like, I've won belts and all this crap already. Like, the thing I think about belts.
Okay, go off.
they're just heavy, dude. They're just heavy.
They
just
are.
add extra weight to the back.
Right. I know. I was thinking. I've actually got to win a championship. I am a champion right now. I'm a tag team champion for Rated R Wrestling in Bristol, Tennessee.
Oh, dude, I need to go to this place because that's like 2 hours away or something like that.
Oh my God, you so should. It's such a fun time. Like, yeah, really cool people. I really love them for like doing that, like, you know, putting it on me and so soon and all that good stuff. But I deserve it.
People like, when you go into a room and you light up a room and like everybody's looking at you, that's why things happen that way. Focal points.
Say it again for the boys in the back. Because they don't get it sometimes, but whatever.
Hey, it's not about them.
It's right? Exactly. Thank you. Let me just rewind and not say that, because you're right.
It's like them. It's like I love having boys. I love being friends with the boys. But at the end of the day, this business is about the fans. Like, the boys in the back aren't fucking selling the seats. So like they're not like, sometimes they are, you know, sometimes like, I bring all my family here, so I should be champion.
But did they buy the tickets, or did they just bring their family there through the back door?
Is this gonna be a Jack Vaughn video coming out soon? Like, is he gonna expose those guys too? I love it.
Right.
I love that guy.
I've actually had that happen to me inadvertently by accident. My mom. So I wrestled in Bristol, Tennessee, not for Rated R Wrestling, for a promotion. I mean, I don't know if I should say their name, whatever. All Pro Wrestling. If they watch
Wait, who runs that?
Duggars. It's like a bunch of guys.
I'm wrestling there February 18th or whatever, the one with Ricky Morton and everybody on that show.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So they contacted me and we, made the deal, and I was coming to wrestle their tag team, put one of my boys on with me, who we were with. We really didn't tag team, but we did. And this is in Bristol, Tennessee. I'm from, at the time, was living in Charlottesville, Virginia. My mom is living there. She showed up and surprised me at the gig, and it was so awesome. Actually, it wasn't awesome. It threw me off my game. I was like, bam, doing my thing, and then the lights come on, and I'm like jaw drop, like, what? Like, you drove 5 hours? I'm like, did kind of mess up in the match, which wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. It was not my fault. I'll stand by that. But it was, my nerves were high. To then learn, and then I never hear back. I had a good time. They were fun. Like, I even helped. I got there early. Like, I did paid my little dues, did all that. And I never heard from them again. And then I was told, and then later, not realizing my mom, my mom being my mom, if you knew her anyways, trying to make this long story short, she basically just hit up the promoter, because my mom doesn't know anything about wrestling or whatever. She was like, hey, my son's performing there tonight. I'm going to need a seat here. I'm coming, and I'm bringing my niece. She's brought my niece. Not in I'm doing, but she was like, hey, honey, I'm going to be coming there. And so when the promoter, he's paying me and stuff, he's like, yeah, we took care, your mom, we took care of her. And I was like, oh, okay. I just didn't know at the time. I'm like, oh my God. And then later after the fact, I'm like, oh my God, Mama, you just showed up to that event and demanded a seat and was like, this is my third match. What are you doing? And I hope if they do watch this, or if you don't have to talk to them, I'm totally kidding. But and then my partner, Kaden, works for them. And Kaden was like, gonna bring me up there. And they were basically maybe not. And I was like, okay, I think I know why. And I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for my mom to just run up on the show and surprise me. And then she didn't buy a ticket apparently. And she was kind of, demanded where she's at. And that's just my mom. And I'm like, okay. So I told her, I was like, you can't do that again. You just can't. But you'll have fun. They're great. It was a great time. It was a great time, and had a really fun match. But that did happen.
Yeah. The one selling point was as Matt Cross is on that card, and I was like, I absolutely love me some Matt Cross.
Yeah, it seems really legit. Not knocking on their previous posters, but this whole marketing
Crazy.
for it looks really cool. I was like, I didn't expect it to be all pro wrestling, and then I was like, oh, it is all pro. And I was like, oh, cool. And I'm like, call me back. I'm sorry.
I just got onto it just randomly. I was like, hey, so a friend of a friend said that you guys might need one or two people. So I'm available, and your people are gonna hate my guts, so there will be a reaction, I promise you. And they're like, yeah, man, come on up. And I was like, well, thank you.
Nice.
I just want to work everywhere. I love,
me too. I really do.
I love it. And the more southern the state, the more I believe that they will hate me. So that's the best part of it.
They will. They'll smell that freaking West Coast right on you. They'll be like, the hell is this out there in the what do they call California? The land of the nuts and the fruits and the nuts. I don't know. I was just watching something the other day, and someone was like, California, the land of the fruits and the nuts. And I was like, that's funny.
That is a good one. Because I come out in a glittery jacket.
I know the jacket. I love that. I was like, okay, love this. I was like, yes, I'll do the show. I like this look.
Right. So let's go.
Sorry, I just rambled on.
Oh no, it's totally fine. So if you could go toe to toe, nose to nose, bell to bell with anybody all time in history, who would be your opponent?
I'm gonna say two people. I'm gonna say I like to wrestle Mickey James. I think that'd be awesome. And then my second one, this might be a little out of nowhere, Tajiri.
After we get off of this, I'll tell you something about that. But yeah, I love Tajiri.
Ooh, all right, some offline tea. I got you. No, I love Tajiri. And what's funny is not to bring it back to Tori Wilson, but I think I was exposed more to Tajiri for the simple fact that she was his valet for so long that I was like, I like this guy. And as a kid, I was like, he was one of my favorite wrestlers. and I even continue to watch him. Oh my God, yeah. And then like the little kicks, and I've been trying to work on my little springboard elbow, which is not as easy as people think.
If the tarantula hurts, I can't.
Oh,
do
I
the
know.
tarantula.
I've done like a variation of that too, where it's kind of like what kind of mixed with Candace Michelle did too, but like that does hurt, and it's really hard to maneuver.
It digs right into. I was like, I got like bigger legs, so it digs right into the thigh meat. And I'm
Same,
just like,
yeah. And then it's hard to maneuver that move because you get counted out so quickly. You know what I mean? You got to get in that thing. It takes 5 seconds to get you in there, and then it's like
back to bad refs. Back to refs that need to do the slow count.
Yeah.
And figure out how to work the ref
this
game.
move in and be like, hey, no, and then start counting once it's locked. Because I'm not getting all up here just to like break it as soon as I get up here, man. That's happened.
So where do you see yourself at in like 5 years in this business? Where would you like to be?
Ooh, 5 years in this business. So I would like to be positioned in a lucrative role within this business. And I'm not saying I have to be, signed anywhere. I mean, like, I don't have to be signed to be like on TV to wrestle or even wrestling. I would just like to I would have liked to worked really hard to then establish something that people enjoyed and that made me money. Like, if I'm gonna be real, I would not like I'm like money hungry. I'm not Mr. Krabs over here, but I'd like to sit on top of of certain accomplishments, knowing that my hard work literally is putting the funds in for me to survive in this world. Simply, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'm not trying to. I mean, I would love to. I'm not gonna say wouldn't love to be well known or famous or whatever. That's not really a goal. A lot of people kind of like misconstrue that sometimes, but I would like, if it is good enough, which I think I'm going to be able to get there, that it's recognized and like, oh, that's who that is. You know what I mean? That's Beaux Bombshell or wherever the road may lead. But honestly, I'd like to make a big check. I'll be real.
I agree.
And I love meeting people. I will say about wrestling, I love that I've met so many people and I continue to meet people. And I hope in 5 years that I've got to meet some of the greats, some of the, ones we don't know that are great yet, the new one, you know what I mean? I can't wait. I look forward to that too, as well. I look forward more to the journey than the
destination, or like
what are we quoting here right now? I'm like, wait, is that like the Aerosmith song, or is it like Miley Cyrus, The Climb? I'm like, what's happening?
Oh, it's a good song.
Which one?
Okay,
with the
Climb.
Well, both, I like both of them, but yeah, they're both.
Yeah.
Good. Life's a journey, not a disc.
Are you alive? Well, hold on. Oh, you're alive again. There you are.
Sorry, I don't know if that's me or if it's you. Maybe it's me.
It's okay. It happens. It happens.
Oh, so it's me. It's me. I was kidding. It's okay. It's not me. It's
okay. So this is like where I like to end. Like, okay, I'm not going to end it yet. I'm going to do your social media first because I like to do that. Then we'll do the end question. Okay, so give everybody your social media, where they can find you, to follow you, and keep up with all the events you're doing and all that good stuff.
Okay, when do you think this will be posted? Because I have something.
This will be posted. So not next weekend. It'll be not next week's, but the week after.
Okay, so you can actually catch me next, for a battle. Oh, actually, don't put that in there. I keep forgetting. I'm not supposed to say. I'm going to be at this promotion. I can't say it's a surprise. And I always just was like,
don't say it.
Okay. So I will have a secret show I'll be at in the beginning of February that I can't say now. But I also will be at Urban Combat Wrestling in Asheville, North Carolina on February 19th. Definitely check it out. It's at High Wire Brewery. It's so fun performing in a bar.
Wait. I had a guy on my show named C. Nick, and he's always sharing stuff about that. Is he involved with that? Yeah.
I think I met him. I'm not sure. I met so many people when I was there the last show. But he's always commenting on all the stuff, and he's like, you know, his whole thing where he's like he wants to run urban combat wrestling, but it's so fun. They have like it literally is like rapid wrestling, and like they have performances in between the matches. And this show that I'm actually doing tomorrow is a comedy show in wrestling, so it's like
that's cool.
It's so cool. I love it. So I'll be there on February 19th. And then you can always find me all day, every day on social media at Beaux Bombshell. And that's BEAUXX BOMBSHELL on all my platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay. So here's the question that some people don't think hard enough on. So after everything's said and done, everything's settled, maybe you're in the grave at this point. How do you want your legacy to be remembered in this business?
I want to be remembered for being a bad bitch. No, like seriously, I can't say it anyway. I want to be remembered for like, he did that. Like he did that. He really, I definitely want to have that like lineage and legacy for the LGBT community in wrestling, which already has so many wonderful, like beautiful, so many different people from different backgrounds. But I definitely want like my piece of pie in that, because those people really inspired me, and I really just would love to inspire others to do what they really truly want to do, and whatever that may be, like go for it. So I hope literally that's what my legacy leaves, is that other younger LGBT people say, oh my God, he's doing it, I want to do it. Like that gives me, like, his light lets mine shine, and I'm gonna go for it and do it. And that's what I love the most about it, really, is hearing that when people are like, oh my God, I saw you doing it and I want to do it. And I'm like, I love that. Like, hell yeah. Like, that's awesome, because I saw people that did it and I wanted to do it and they inspired me. So that's what I want to leave. And that I'm a bad bitch.
All right. Eloquently spoken. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jackson Black. This will be after this episode airs live on Facebook, or not live, but it'll be on all major podcasting platforms. So my name is Jackson Black. This is Beaux Bombshell. Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Jackson Black Show.